Oh, we're not streaming to Instagram, are we?
No.
No.
I don't think so.
No, it doesn't look like it.
And all right, YouTube's running. The tubes are running.
Okay. All right. Our comedian ain't here today.
Woo!
He's not.
Yeah, he's a little under the weather, so hope he gets feeling better soon.
Yeah.
We'll see. He may be trolling us, so you never know with him.
You never know.
How about a long lag, man? It just now went live on my end. And I got good internet, supposedly. You know. Anyhow, nothing funny, man. It's weird. We usually have a little something going on before we start.
We all kind of scrambled on here tonight.
Yeah,
running behind myself. So anyhow, I guess let's get this going. What do y'all say?
Let's get it going.
Yeah,
here we go. Well, welcome to Creative Makers Podcast, episode 126. I'm Joey with Steel Blade Woodworks, joined by our hosts, Matt with Wacky Works, BJ with Byroms Custom Woodworks, and that famous mustache, the Wood Mustache. Mustachio, what's up?
What's going?
The mustachio.
We're a little light, one guy, and just so everybody knows, just real quick before we get going, pinned to the top of the chat is a direct link to our Patreon. Thanks to Mr. Steve I, Mr. Link in the bio.
What?
Yeah. He got that all taken care of for us, man. That dude's he's amazing. He's amazing. Just keeps on bringing things. Love him. Anyhow, what's going on, everybody?
It's cold.
It just blew in down here.
We were cold.
Literally sweating in the shop. And you just heard like a gust of wind. Me and the boys looked at each other. We looked at my wife, and we were like, "Is there something blowing in?" And she's like, "Yeah, there's a front coming in." I said, "Oh, really?" Nice.
Well, batten down the hatches, light the fires.
It's blowing hard out there right now. It's getting it. Of course, we have nothing to block the wind, so it's what it is. But anyhow, so. All right. Well, I guess we get this episode rolling. We're gonna be a little light, but
see if
we can make it through. See if we can manage without Mr. Wackerle.
I think we can. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna bring back an old favorite.
Oh.
You ever look at a piece of broken furniture and think, wow, that's exactly how my soul feels? Well, good news. Boss Dog Wood Glue can fix at least one of those things. Boss Dog isn't just a wood glue. No, it's a bonding experience. You squeeze it onto a broken chair leg and suddenly you're whispering, shh, it's okay now. Daddy's here. The glue is so strong, I swear I heard my bookshelf say, thank you, after I used it. It can dry clear, but emotionally it leaves a mark. Boss Dog Wood Glue holds tighter than a raccoon with a stolen sandwich, stronger than your friend who insists his band is really close to blowing up, and more reliable than a neighbor who somehow knows when you're grilling. I use Boss Dog on a wobbly table, and now not only is it just stable, it's confident, it's thriving, and it's paid off its debts, and it's started doing yoga. So if your furniture's falling apart or you just enjoy squeezing adhesives onto inanimate objects while making prolonged eye contact with your pets, grab a bottle of Boss Dog Wood Glue. Boss Dog Wood Glue. Sit, stay, stick, and maybe whisper your secrets into the bottle. I can't promise it'll listen, but I also can't prove it doesn't. Remember, hit our link in the description. Use our code CMP10 for 10% off. I also want to add, because I was just checking out the website, they still have the holiday edition of the glue box. So it's all 4 glues in 16-ounce bottles, and then all of the CA glues with activator, and a little bonus item. You get a glue applicator brush, which I love them. I know my wife loves them when they're dry because she likes picking the dried glue out of them. Hey, it's fun, I guess. Or jump over and get the limited edition Makers 4-pack, and then you get the free BLD blade with that. And I mean, come on, you can't go wrong with glue. And when you get some freebies included in with it, it's awesome.
So
that's a good segue into this. We're going to spin right off on that one, and we're going to go ahead and announce that we are doing a pretty good size giveaway come December 21st, which is, we're considering it our last show of the year. And one of the big sponsors is going to be Boss Dog Wood Glues, our very own sponsor.
Yep.
Man, he owned up and got some good packages coming in. We're going to have some good glue packages being given away. We also have Acmer Lasers donating 3 lasers for this giveaway. 3 diode laser, 12-watt lasers. Those you do have to be present in the chat to win. We have Bumbleshoots. We have, I'm going to let you say that name because is it Solinary?
I say Sonnery.
Sonnery. They're giving away an awesome honing guide jig for sharpening your chisels and blades. And they're also giving a glue scraper away. Correct? Did I get that?
The ergonomic glue scraper. And
there you go.
What that is, go check it out. You're going to want to try to win that thing. It is awesome.
There you go. Who else am I forgetting? I think we're waiting for a couple of companies to respond. Mm-hmm. We do have Mr. Brew Builds giving away one of those awesome dust hoods for the rigid oscillating sander.
I was going to ask you on that. Did he specify the rigid? Because I know he makes a couple different models.
You are correct. You are correct. And I imagine
whichever tool you've got.
Yeah, he said he would give away one of those hoods. So I'm assuming that it's whatever brands he offers, and we'll have to go and clarify that to see what he offers. So I'm pretty sure he doesn't mind. He was like, heck yeah, I'll do it. Cadence Manufacturing is going to be giving away a package of Jenny bits. And
can I enter to win that one?
No. Oh. And I'm going to be donating some of my 3D printed objects. I'm going to get the package together, and I'll offer up some goodies. And I believe Wackerle, and we haven't really finalized on that. But we also, the biggest thing is that we're also giving away a Bamboo Labs A1 printer. Now, there's a catch to that. And that catch is you have to be in our Patreon. So if you feel it to go support us, you have to be in the top 2 tiers to be entered for your chance to win that. And there's a lot of other good things that come along with those tiers. So y'all need to go check them out. You can hit that link pinned up in the chat, and it'll take you there, and you can look at the tiers. We got some good stuff coming up in the following upcoming year, and we would appreciate y'all's support. And maybe you go away with the 3D printer. Who knows?
I want to throw out something cool that Patreon members get, because we did it last night. Yeah. Every once a month, whether you think it's cool or not, you get to hang out with us, see a little behind the scenes action going on. I think it was kind of cool last night. We spent about an hour troubleshooting a CNC as a group.
Yep.
Don't know how well that actually went, but we had some fun troubleshooting a CNC. So yeah, it's definitely one of the cool perks, being a Patreon member. You get to come hang out with us and just, kind of see us off the podcast.
Yeah, we have. Ask some questions if you got questions. Mr. Don Sargood was in there, and he was asking away and enjoying the commentary, because boy, we get a little wild in there sometimes. It's uncut, and just we were out in the shop messing around.
Joey was spelling words with pretzels,
Oh yeah. Y'all missed that.
Yeah.
I was spelling words with pretzels.
And we have proof. There is now, proof out there that Mustache actually works in his shop.
Oh yeah.
Because he was actually working on his CNC table. So there is definitive proof that Mustache does work in the shop.
He's been busting it here lately.
I guess the procrastination bug has left the Mustache household. And
Yeah,
Well,
still
you
there.
know, he's up
Still
in
there.
his game, and he's up in his game, and he's bringing in new tools to get his shop going, and he's just starting to get crowded in, and he knew he had to move to make room and get everything situated, because you know, when you have to do the Dukes of Hazzard over tables to get around, it's quite entertaining for us, but probably not so for him.
Yeah.
I'm not as young as I was.
Oh, whatever. You're still wet.
I'm still the youngest, so, and I feel it too. So,
but anyhow, I guess we get into that next segment, huh, BJ?
yeah.
Let's
So,
do it.
Joey, what is glue with you? And of course, the people want to know
What's in the box?
Actually, I found a lot of boxes. I've been moving everything around today. I kind of ran out of room to put stuff because I'm transferring everything over to one side of the shop, which we got all the big equipment, the CNC moved, all the table saws, everything is moved, except we have the air conditioners that are still in the boxes and the insulation that is still packaged up for the barn. The dust collection fittings. What else? There is a shelf with all sorts of odds and ends when I was building this office and stuff. So not a whole lot left, just very little. We're going to finish that tomorrow because I gathered the troops and we're going to start hopefully busting concrete by Tuesday. If I can get a mini excavator delivered.
You're going to end up having to do that.
Oh yeah. We're going to bust out concrete. I got my cousin. He's actually available to help me all week, and he's very good at running that stuff. He's an operator. So I just talked to him this afternoon. He's going to come in and help me bust that out. He'll make it seem a lot easier because he knows how to operate it and he can do it. He's done it all his life. So I'll feel more comfortable with him here as well. And hopefully, as quick as he is, I think we can literally bust all that concrete out in one day. I'm going to literally we're going to get everything moved tomorrow and then set the plan up. I'll call the rental company and get that situated to get them out here, and then hopefully start busting on Wednesday and maybe even get it all cleared out by Wednesday and start getting it prepped. And if we can, pour it by this weekend. If I can get a truck out here.
Are you going to get a concrete saw to cut the line so you have a stopping point? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I figured you would. I was just asking.
Yeah, I've got it laid out to how I'm going to do it. That way I can rebar and or dowel into the existing foundation.
Yep.
So that now everything and re-level, that way everything can move as one per se with the dowels, or you're not, one side will have adhesive or that that concrete. If Matt was here, he could tell me the epoxy you put in, and the other side is made for it just to kind of move, I guess, according to how Matt was explaining it to me. So anyhow, we're going to get all that done, rebar, get some new beams dug in to help. And I hope by this coming weekend, this nightmare will be over. But if we can't, it'll be the following week. We can pour it and have it done, and that way I can set everything up finally, get it all completely done and set out, and get to doing some cool stuff. So that's what we did today. Got a lot of stuff moved. I tell you what, thank God I went and picked up that 2-ton engine hoist at Harbor Freight. There'd have been no way we could have moved that stuff around. I picked up the new metal lathe that's still in the crate. We actually peeked in there and looked at it to make sure everything was good before we moved it. We moved that thing. That thing was a freaking monster to move. It's heavy. And then I was like, man, now we got to move all that lumber I've got stacked. And I was like, well, wait a minute. We got the engine hoist. So we strapped it and moved all that lumber at once. And then we moved the CNC that we put on rollers. And then the other big deal was that big grizzly wood lathe that I have. And man, that thing made it so easy. Just swoop in there and put some straps around it and pump it up and just drug it away like nothing. Man, it was
nice.
I'm glad I got that thing. That thing is worth its weight in gold.
Yeah, that was quite a bundle of lumber you had on there.
Oh, that thing was, I tell you what, I took that thing to the max because my boys were like, "Are you sure that thing gonna pick it up?" I said, "That thing ain't that heavy." Boy, we started cranking on that and it started lifting the far end where the actual jack is, and we had to stand on it to counterweight it till it could finally pull that stuff high enough, and then we could slide it further back because it was just reaching so far out. But that lumber was heavy. We had to go run to the back, and I've got some big old 6x6 logs out there and cut some to stack it, because it's like, well, now you got to get the crane out from underneath it. So we broke out the chainsaw and cut some strips in there so that we can put that lumber on it. But there's a lot of hardwood to pick up at once. But I'm glad I picked that up, man. That saved our backs quite a bit today. So yeah, that's about it. What about you, Mustache?
What about me? Well, I got the CNC table wrapped with walnut. Finally, I got the last two sides on there. About a half hour ago, 45 minutes ago, I got the last piece on. And as always, you when you're doing miters and you're wrapping 4 corners, those 3 sides are easy, and then you come around to the other side and you're gonna have that perfect piece. It's fine. It's fine. It's not a showstopper table. But the Boss Dog, I used the Boss Dog Brown for the first time, and that stuff's pretty good with walnut. I'm really that.
It covered up some of those little discrepancies in there, huh?
Well, we'll see.
Laid in a little thick.
I still got to. I think I'm going to do a round over on the top and the bottom, and that's going to be when we'll see how those miters came out.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that'll expose them.
Yep.
That's why you need to get you some of those hand planes. You know, those things you push without a motor.
No,
I'm not have you ever heard of those? You know?
No.
I bet you Steve can.
I'll look into them.
Yeah, Steve can educate you on those.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You can fine tune it.
Interesting.
There you go.
But yeah, so I got that wrapped in walnut. And what else? I moved a bunch of stuff around in the shop on like Wednesday, because I have wood scraps and 2x4. Like I got more 2x4s than most contractors probably have for some reason. Just with framing, sheds, and everything else, I need to just purge them all. But I brought probably 3 buckets of scraps into the house to burn in the fireplace. My wife's just like, "Geez, what are you bringing more in?" I'm like, no, this is it for now. And then I come in with more scraps. But I mean that hardwood burns good in the fire. So
yeah.
I still got to stack the wood. I'm really frustrated with this last load of wood. It's so freaking wet. So I brought like 3 wheelbarrows of firewood inside of that, and I'm just gonna stage it in the house for maybe a week or 2, and then we'll kind of see how see how that works. In the past, I've brought it into the shop, but I'm a little wary to do that with having all that hardwood in there and stuff, and random bugs popping out of some of that, and just being like, ooh,
Yeah.
So that's gonna we'll have the bugs come out in the house instead. That's better. But yeah, that's about it for me. What's glue with you, BJ?
Man, not a whole lot. I worked on a cutting board this week. Kind of tinkered on the CNC a little bit. Today was a fun one. My son came over, got home last night, and he's like, "Hey, I got a problem." I'm like, "What?" He goes, "My window won't roll up." Fun. So, and then last night they decided they wanted to go to the movies this morning, and so we went and saw Five Nights at Freddy's this morning. It was okay. They liked it. It's not my cup of tea, but hey, they liked it.
I saw it. It was okay.
Yeah, it is okay. Got home, got his little SUV pulled in the shop, pulled the door panel off, and noticed that the motor, the actuator for the window regulator was bent good. So we pulled everything out, and the solution was take a hammer to it, bend it back in place to where we can at least get the window to roll up. Because, with it being cold, it kind of sucks to drive down the road with the half closed window. So, and then he's going to try, I think he's going tomorrow to local pick and pull to see if he can find him some new seats, because the seats that are in it are pretty, because it's a 2001 little Honda. And I was like, well, while you're there tomorrow, find you a door, pull the window regulator out of it. And he's like, heck, I might just, because I think the door, the inside, the door card or door panel, whatever it's called, I think it's messed up a little bit. He's like, I might just try to find a door and just buy the whole door, and do that. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Just all we need is the regulator. We know the motor works. We just need the metal. It's like, you get that, bring it back to the house. We'll throw it in. We'll throw the seats in too. Other than that, not a whole lot. I'm keep getting asked by the family what I want to do. So Friday's my birthday, and yes, I'm turning 40 this year. So I will officially be what I feel like is an old man,
Over the hill? Would that be
over the hill? Yeah.
50. I think 50 is over
Maybe that's
the hill.
50. Yeah. And so they're like, well, what do you want to do for your birthday? And I'm like, I want to hang out in the shop for my birthday, because I'm off all next weekend. I got a 3-day weekend. But yeah, I really didn't do it. It's been cold down here, so I really haven't wanted to do anything, because you don't want to do out. I've got some yard work I've got to do, but Joey, you know how it is. Us Texas boys, when it gets below a certain temp, you just don't want to go outside and do outdoor work.
I think the lawnmower's been out of the barn maybe twice this year. It's been so dry, nothing's growing. So, I mean, there's weeds. I mean, basically what you're doing is just chopping the weed,
Yeah.
But not even that's growing, especially now. Everything's just dormant. Yeah, there's a little bit of weeding that needs to get done, but the boys will knock that out.
Yeah.
And there's nothing. It's up until last week, like I said, right around Thanksgiving, I think we got over 6 inches of rain.
Yeah.
It rained pretty good. And it's still damp out there. Yeah, that's been about it, but nothing. Like I said, now you're starting to see the weeds pop up.
Yeah. And I think it's funny. I'm getting up every morning and I've got a severe weather alert on my phone. 24-hour severe weather alert. I'm like, there's not supposed to be any rain. The only issue we've been running into is the fog up here has been horrible. the last 3 or 4 days.
We got some of that, what they call that sea fog in last night.
Yeah.
It's pretty in fact, when we got done with the hangout, when I walked in, I had walked out there and you could see town from here. And it wasn't, but you could see that fog starting to come down lower. You could see it in the skyline. And heck, about 30 minutes after that, I walked back out, and it's so eerie out here because we're kind of just out in the middle of nowhere. You can't see nothing, and it's just dark, quiet, and there's nothing. It's just silent. You know, that fog just closed there. It was weird.
So yeah, excuse me. That's about all I've done this week. Next weekend will probably be a little bit more because I'll have more time in the shop.
There you go.
Well, I will throw this out there. I did this today, and I know I'm going to get some hate for this, but I put blue stain on bird's eye maple.
Oh my God! Get out of there! Get out of here!
Well, I'm making a union for a flag.
Oh,
and the guy that I'm helping, he showed up with it, and I was like, "This is bird's eye maple," and he's like, "It's all I got." I'm like, okay, I guess we can do
swapped it out.
Yeah, I don't have any maple either. I used it all in the last bit of maple I had on this cutting board I'm working on. But yeah, I felt very, very dirty.
You should have
putting that stain on there, but it's gonna look good once we get the stars cut in it and everything. So yeah. Well, cool. Let's get into this subject. What are we talking about tonight, boys?
Pivot?
Making big shop moves. Kind of like, you know, if you're going to purchase something, or, you know, if you're going to start the process of you've got an idea in your head and you want to try to prototype to eventually bring it out to market, or maybe just rearranging the shop, something. Just big moves that you're going to do. How do you go about it? What's your process? What's your thinking? Yeah.
Pull everything out of the shop and start over now.
Yeah, let's just move everything to one side of the shop, bust some concrete, and re-pour. Why not? Yeah,
I think Mustache is the biggest one doing shop moves right now, other than you, Joey, that's having to due to new slab being poured.
Yeah. I mean, I pivoted. I mean, it all kind of started with a CNC last year, and then and then my lumber rack fell down, so that kind of hampered things for a bit, and then I got lazy. And
but that led into a whole lot of other things you discovered by that lumber rack falling. Then it led into the water meter issue, didn't it? You found that?
Oh my gosh, yeah. No, I pulled that little tote full of, like, I think there's like painting stuff in it. I pulled that tote off the access panel in the floor in the shop. I pulled that tote away, and there was like hundreds of ants under it.
Ooh.
And I grabbed the shop vac and I sucked them all up, and I brought that shop vac out. It was like 10, 15 degrees outside. I'm sure they were like, whoa. But yeah, I boxed that. That's a good point, Joey. I should probably pop that open and see how it's going in there. I wanted to put a one of those little damp rid bottle type things in there to kind of absorb any moisture that might come in. But yeah, fix that, and then got a few more larger tools, and we're almost there. We're almost there. I mean, like I said, I was trying to use the table saw for cutting up that maple, and I just had to like walk sideways to get to certain parts, and then I'm going back and forth, and I'm like doing this weird zigzag pattern through different things, and I'm like, oh, this is terrible. I just stopped working and just picked up for the rest of the night. And that worked out. That worked out really well.
That's kind of like where we're at right now, is all the stuff that I just kind of stacked as I was building certain things and doing. Now we're to that point where we got to figure out all those bits and pieces and scraps that we hoard and don't get rid of. Well, those are probably going to go in the burn pit and get burnt. But kind of like going back, like if I'm going to make, when I first got in here, I called our buddy Matt, and Matt's real good with SketchUp. And I got measurements, and he's got my whole shop laid out down to the inch. And we go through that, and anytime I want to make a change or move something, we can kind of move it around in there and just see how it's going to work out. If it's going to fit, how much distance we're going to have, or I'm going to have to walk around. And it's very helpful to plan out before you start moving some of these big pieces of equipment. You don't have to be moving them very often. So, but you know that as you work, you always end up wanting to change something around. You'll figure like, if I put that over here, that'll work a lot better. And that always leads into not just moving that piece. And you start, if I move that, then I can move this. And then it just turns into a big old whirlwind and moving all sorts of stuff around.
Yeah.
So it's always good. I like to try to plan some of that stuff out, because I don't want to be moving this next time around. I pretty much have it figured out where I'm going to do the clusters with some of that equipment once I get that foundation fixed. And I think that's going to be the way it's going to be. I don't want to have to be moving that stuff, but I have made the move to put a lot of stuff on wheels recently, and that helped out a lot, moving this stuff around. I mean, moving those table saws. I got one more table saw, which is the Powermatic. The saw stop, man, you just pump that cart and just whoop, you can move it with one finger. That is that dolly that's underneath it is super awesome, how it lifts everything up. I just need to get one for the Powermatic. Probably pick one up from Grizzly or something and get that, because that thing is heavy. That table saw is, I hate having to move that, because that's solid cast iron on that whole table across. So that's 52 inches of cast iron top, and it's heavy.
Just the top.
Yeah, just the top, and then you got everything else, the base and all that. It's not pleasant to move. But that helped out a lot. And it also helps by doing that when you want to move stuff or clean. I mean, of course, move, but clean, and you want to back things away. It's so easy just to hit that lever and just kind of wheel it out of the way, and you can get in there and clean. Especially with those old table saws, they don't have the best dust collection on them. And lo and behold, when I moved the Powermatic, had this massive pile of dust sitting there. Just pile.
Well, I've even noticed the saw stop, like, because you still get a bunch down in the bottom, of the cabinet.
I feel like I saw that with my Bosch contractor saw, and I saw that with the Delta that I have also. Like right under it. The Delta's got this little like canvas kind of thing around the dust chute and stuff that works a lot better than the Bosch did. But
you know what I've seen on those contractor style saws? Kind of like like the Craftsman. So the upper saw separates from the stand, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you could do that, and it was pretty neat. But they built like a funnel out of plywood, and it tapers down. And then you put a port at the very bottom in the center. So everything that cuts and falls down, those contractor saws are all open underneath.
Yep.
So everything that falls down falls right down into that hopper. Basically, it's a hopper, and then you suck it right out. And it worked great on the Craftsman I had back in the day. And you basically make, 4 sides that taper down to a point, and then you put you a port down there, and then you build like a flange out of wood where it'll sit between the stand and the saw, and then you bolt everything down and it holds it in.
Yep.
Or you don't even have to do that. You can just mount it from the bottom. You don't even have to separate the saw, but it'll sit right in the middle of that frame inside, and it catches everything. And it worked dang good because it's catching everything other than what comes out the holes of your tilt adjustment and whatnot.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that on when you're tilting the blade and stuff, did that like interfere with it or anything?
Nope, because it's all on the bottom. It's underneath. I'll have to show you. Probably not explaining it right, but yeah, I mean it works. It works very well. It catches everything. I mean, it's a pretty good little design. I found it on YouTube University back in the day when it was first coming. When you really started looking at some of that stuff, I was like, that's a good idea. I'm going to do that. And I did it. And it worked absolutely wonderful. So anyhow, moving on. How about you, BJ? What do you do when you're, let's just say, what do you do when you're going to make a big purchase? How do you go about it? What's the process?
Buy it, get it in the shop and figure out where it's going to go. No. I mean, so for instance, like when I got the laser, 2 years ago, year or so ago, that's pretty good sized piece of equipment. It kind of was I went back and I've got the SketchUp file for my shop, and it was really just going in and seeing, okay, what's going to fit where, then you got to take into account, I've got to have exhaust. I've got to have, this. And originally when we got it and I got it all put in, everything was working great, and went to open the attic because I'd moved my CNC over, and the CNC sticks out 2 inches too far to open the attic access. So that idea was completely out the window. So it's like, okay, move stuff around again. Downside is now I've got exhaust hose running underneath tools to a window. But sometimes it's trial and error. Sometimes it's, oh yeah, this will, the design works fine. But I have a bad habit of about every 6 months to a year of rearranging things in my shop. The main things tend to stay the same that run off of that need major dust collection. That stuff tends to stay the same. But like moving little things around, like for 4 years, I had my bandsaw on one side of the shop, which made it a little harder to use. And then, a couple months ago, I moved it. When I did my dust collection rerun, I moved it because, the practicality sake, I could only run 3-foot boards through it. Now I can run 10-foot boards through it. I, just got the new planer, and it's a lot bigger than what I had, and it's not as easy to move out of the way like my old one was.
Yeah.
And I've been using it where it's at since I got it, but I'm really starting to think it's going to have to move, just because, I'm limited on how long of a board I can put through it. But, for me, a lot of times it's just trial and error, what's going to work, measure stuff out. Like when I did when I flipped my epoxy station around, it was just grab a tape measure. All right. Yep. This will fit this way. Move it all around. So.
Well, I can tell you one time I didn't plan out correctly, since you're talking about lasers, is getting that laser that sits behind me in this office before I put the French doors in a couple of years ago. I had to bring it into the door that's right beside me. And I tell you what, that's a big laser back there. It may not look big, but it's pretty good size. And we had to end up standing that thing up on end and putting it on roll carts to get it in here. And the boys were a lot younger at that time. And I tell you what, that was not fun.
Yeah.
I didn't plan that thing in. I was trying to get that thing in here before I closed like that wall out, but I couldn't. I was scared it was going to get damaged because it was already here. It was sitting in a crate, go figure, like everything else. And that wasn't fun trying to get in here and maneuver around. Once we got it in here, it was good, but man, it was not fun getting it in here. Now I have a set of French doors over there on that end where it would just roll straight out of here with no problem and have plenty of room. But when I'm looking at getting something, the first thing I'm going to look at is power.
Yeah.
Make sure that I have the correct power and where I want to put it and what it's going to cost to get it there. Because electricity now or wire is very expensive.
Wiring, so expensive
to run out to certain places, especially if you're going to run a long lead of 10-2 or something, you know, that gets pretty pricey. And you know, if it's going to go in conduit, you're going to do single strand. So now you got to get, you know, different rolls of that. So it all depends on what you're doing. You know, everything that has to do with the electrical now has gone up, just like everything else. So that's one of the big keys is, one, you got to purchase a piece of equipment, then you got to get it here, and then you got to get power to it.
Yeah.
And, you know, and then all the other stuff that falls in suit with that, dust collection, and make sure that you have sufficient dust collection for the piece of machine you're getting.
Yeah.
You know, that it's strong enough to be able to work with it, especially like if you're getting a big planer or a big drum sander, you know, stuff like that, because the drum sanders will make a mess. Yeah, they'll make a freaking mess quick. It doesn't take long. You'll have dust everywhere. That's the biggest thing. And you know, even a joiner planer, they produce a lot of chips, and that's one thing that you have to have enough, you know, CFM to pull those chips out, because then you just end up plugging everything up, and then you're gonna make another mess because they're gonna be shooting chips back right at you.
Or you're taking it apart and pulling the chips out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So that, I mean, Sean over there saying he needs to step up his dust collection. I mean, that's always a big thing. You know, I think we've all started, you know, with smaller equipment, and then through the years we've upgraded. And that's something that some people may not pay attention to until you start getting to those bigger pieces of equipment. And then you start noticing, whoa, you know, those little roll car dust collectors or stuff like that, they are not strong enough. Or, you know, you get tired after so many pieces of equipment trying to attach a hose to everything. And then spiral holes just deteriorates your CFM a lot, you know, and you know, again, none of that stuff is cheap. You know, getting into a bigger dust collector, they're pricey now. Everything has gone up. I know I was looking at prices, and I went back and I looked. When I bought that big Grizzly 3 horsepower that's on the wall, I got it for less than, I think it was $1,200. That dust collector now is over $3,000.
Yeah.
Wow.
$3,000 for that thing. That's how much it's gone up. And it's wild, the pricing on a bunch of that equipment, how much it's gone up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that, you know, and again, like Sean saying, he moves his dust collector around from machine to machine. Eventually, you'll get to the point like, okay, I'm done with this. I need to hard pipe some stuff in. I need to get a main dust collector. You know, you can try to do certain tasks with shop vacs and extractors or whatever you got, but on some of those bigger tools, those aren't strong enough to do it. Yeah. And you got to really think about getting up to something bigger, you know?
Yep. Well, I noticed, like, because, you know, my dust collection's pretty dang strong, especially with, you know, the metal piping and the new impeller, and hopefully one day the, you know, the Wackerle upgrade. But you know, with that new planer, because it puts out so much, there's always something left, you know, on the bed. It doesn't get everything. Now, I know those old Grizzly planers are not great on dust collection in the first place, so you kind of got to have a little more power than what you think just to compensate for it. But for the most part, everything works. And that you know, that's another thing. Dust collection can be a little trial and, you know, a little bit of trial and error. You know, you think it's going to work great, and you realize it's not. You know, but yeah, Joey, what you were saying, getting rid of that spiral pipe too, that makes a huge difference.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
We all start off and make all those
yeah.
mistakes, and then we'll learn, you know, but it's and I've, you know, and you got to get the right thing. You got to get the right dust collector, because you can over dust collect your stuff. You may not need as big of a collector as you need, you know, depending on, you know, the routing of your piping and whatever, you know, that's for another topic and another time.
Yeah.
But you know, the main deal is just planning everything out correctly. And you know, hopefully you have the budget, or eventually get to the point where you can get it, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah, there's really not, Sean. There's not a whole lot of stuff that's cheap out there, and if it's cheap, it's probably not good. Probably not what you need, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, because I use the US duct system, and yeah, it's up there with Nordfab. You know.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I did the shop vac thing for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I
We all
ran
did.
2.5-inch pipe, and then I finally bit the bullet, and you know, I paid more. I paid more just for the filter from what's the Win Industrial or Win Environmental.
Yeah.
That's where I got the filter from, and I paid more for that filter than the actual dust collector itself.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah, I did the same thing. Yeah, it's like,
And
what, $300 for that filter or something?
yep, and
But
then, you know,
it makes a huge difference.
oh, absolutely. I mean, those bags that come with that setup are great in the beginning, I'm sure,
Yeah.
but that's not gonna last. And, you know, I upgraded to a 4-inch pipe, and I quickly learned I didn't have a 3D printer at the time, which I kinda wish I did. Um, I quickly learned how much those stupid rubber connectors, because with the 2.5-inch pipe, I could just go to, the big box store and get, I wanna say it was like the 3-inch, hose clamp,
Mhm.
the little rubber hose clamp, and, that was, you know, a couple bucks or something, and then for whatever reason, the 4-inch pipe that I got, that didn't have a solution, so I'd have to pay. I probably got, 20 or so of those $12 rubber connectors that I had to get from PowerTech.
Mhm.
And, I mean, if I had a 3D printer, I would have just printed my own stuff, but, you know, you learn as you go.
Yep.
Yeah, Sean is mentioning down there Norfab and I'm trying to find that company, and I think it's called US Duck.
Yeah, that's the one I use, US
No,
duct.
not them. There's another
No.
one out there. Sorry, there is another one. Dang it, I can't find it in my saved deals, but I'll have to find it, Sean, and send it to you. They have basically the spiral pipe. There's many companies out there, but you need to search around because Norfab is quite expensive.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
I can't find it. I have it saved somewhere where anyhow, moving on. But there's some places out there where you can locate that stuff a lot cheaper than going with that. I have talked about probably going with metal, but I don't know if I am. I mean, I have everything for, the same old PVC 6-inch. I've got all the fittings, everything. And I may just do that to start off with. And then maybe eventually migrate over to the metal. But to get going for now, I have everything. So I'm just going to use it. And then maybe jump up to that, because I have looked into it, but that company, they do have, because I think it's going to be somewhere about a couple of $1,000s to get everything. Because of course, on anything that you're going to do, Blastgate Company. It's called the Blastgate Company.
Yeah.
You can go check them out. They've got everything. Anything, the snap together pipe, just like Norfab, that's a heck of a lot cheaper. The pipe's what's cheap. It's the fittings that are going to cost you. And that's on anything. The fittings, and then the blast gates, everything. So
let me mention that real quick. Don't get the plastic blast gates. Or if you do get the plastic blast gates, make sure that they self-clean when you close them. Because they're just gonna gum up, and you're gonna think it's closed, and it's full of freaking sawdust, and it's not gonna be closed all the way.
Yeah.
So
get the metal ones if you can.
Yep.
Yeah, the self-cleaning that basically they just go straight through, and those will clean themselves out
wide
every
open.
time. Yeah.
Yep.
Probably so, Sean. He's asking if I'm going to go grid automation. I do like it. I do like the fact that turning the piece of equipment on and it opens up the gate. I'm not going to need a whole lot, because I'm going to cluster kind of like Jason did. I'm going to try to cluster the machines. So I'm going to try to put the new joiner planer and possibly the bandsaw, if I can get it all. Heck, even the drum sander, if I can get it all together. If I can make a cluster and configure them to where they'll all work, which I think I can, I'm going to definitely do that and just bring one drop down, and that and then I can just branch off to each piece of equipment and make it easy. Because other than that, I don't have anything other than the table saws, which I'll probably run a drop over there to them. And I ended up getting the new Wackerle 1250 CFM wall dust collector, the Cyclone, because that's going to be put over there where I'm going to move the CNC, and that's going to have its own dust collector. So I mean, other than that, the chop saw is going to be on an extractor. I don't see wasting the funds to get a drop over there to collect on something that's so hard to collect to begin with.
Which saw do you have?
The Capex.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's probably light years better than most miter saws.
I've already set it up to where I'm going to put an extractor right below in the cabinet, and it's just going to come up there. I'll have another dust port to kind of sweep up everything that it doesn't catch. But it's going to really limit the amount that I need, just because I'll be able to cluster those machines, and then I can just run one power drop and be done. It's not going to have to run multiple 220 lines all over the place. It's going to come right down with the dust collection pipe to it, and that'll limit a lot of stuff that I need to put. So yeah, I really like that. I've seen like Jay Bates do it, Jason Bench.
Oh yeah.
They cluster everything together, and if you have the room and you can do it, I think that's the best way to do it. Now, is it going to be the best flow? I don't know. But again, I'm not a commercial shop. I'm not trying to batch stuff out. It's just me. It's a hobby. I'm fine with it. You know,
Yeah.
some other people may not be, but that's, you know, you do you. I do me. I just from a financial standpoint, I think that's the best route to do because it's less money you have to spend. And all that stuff's expensive. Wire, dust collection pipe, however you go. Mind you, I have all that stuff, most of the piping, if I stay with PVC, which it's going to be 6-inch. So I may get something bigger to come out because I think I got an 8-inch port out of that dust collector. So I may come out with 8-inch for a little bit and then transition down to 6 with the Fernco.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Anyhow, but it's always good to kind of plan that stuff out. Really, really good. You don't spend as much money. Bosch 30 millimeter anti-static hose can have.
Oh, that's interesting.
Oh, huh.
Did not know that.
I didn't know that either.
Cool.
You're a big Bosch fan, ain't you, Mustache?
I had a lot of Bosch stuff. I'm getting rid of the last of it once I finally post it.
I mean, for the most part, there is a lot of stuff out there. If you just search around, there is a lot of stuff that's off-brand that you can get that works just as good, and you could save a ton of money. Oh, cool! I'll go check it out, Sean.
Okay.
Yeah. I kind of look around. I mean, when it comes to stuff like that, hoses and stuff. I mean, you know, you're gonna go pay
Really
$300. I do on that kind of stuff. I don't.
No, I was talking about what you said before that.
Oh, shop around. I do a lot of that. No,
never mind.
Yeah. Yeah, but I do shop around when it comes to that kind of stuff. I like to see if I can find something because there's no need to spend $300 on a freaking hose when you can get the same thing for less. I mean, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I would love the one of the little Festool vacuums with the Bluetooth. I mean, when I was over at Lido's shop, and he's just fires up the tool and the vacuum comes on and like turns the tool off, and I'm just like, oh, I want that. You know, it's handy. And I mean, Jason Bent talked about that because he's got grid automation in his shop, and he went over to someone else's place, and like they're like, you didn't turn the dust collector on, and he's like, oh.
Yeah, you get spoiled.
You get spoiled, yeah.
You do get spoiled, and you forget because you just think your mind frames you're in your shop, and none of that stuff automatically comes on. You know, not everybody has that fancy stuff.
Yeah.
But it sure is nice though when it can open up and do all that for you.
Oh yeah.
One less thing you got to do. I mean,
Wonderful.
but it's all good, but it costs. Everything costs to have that automation in there. The thing that I like about it is that you can lock everything out, and with young kids, that is a no-brainer. You know, because my grandbabies, they come in there and they're poking and grabbing, and they don't know any better.
Buttons and switches are cool.
Ooh, buttons.
That's all it would take, and I'd hate for one of them to get hurt in here, you know. And I'm always on them. I'm like, don't touch that. That'll hurt you. But again, that goes in one ear and out the other. By the next day they come in there, they're right back at it, and it's like, Papa, what is this? And I'm like, don't touch that. You know, and that's I've always, like, since I cut my finger, of course I can't do it with the bandsaw, but the bandsaw I release the tension on the blade, which you're supposed to do anyways. But my table saws, I always drop the blades down when I'm done. I try to.
Yes.
If they're unplugged, no big deal. Like if I've cleaned them, but if I leave them plugged in because I'm going to be working with them, I drop the freaking blade down. That way, if they do get turned on,
it's
going to scare the heck out of them, but they can't put their hand in there and get cut.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've got the habit, like on the bandsaw, I pull the yellow key out.
Yeah, I need to
Oh,
start
yep.
doing that.
Just because that one, because the main the main reason I do that is even if you have the blade detensioned, I had it sitting there detention, had a buddy over at the shop, and he's like, "Oh, what does this do?" And he pulls the power switch on it, and it spun the blade around and ended up slamming the blade into the worktop and sheared like 7 or 8 carbide teeth off. And I'm like, well, that's $150 blade. And granted, he was kind enough to go, okay, send me the link to where I can order you a new one. I'll buy you a new one. And so after that, it was like, yeah, the bandsaw, it gets the key pulled out of it, just because,
Yeah,
I don't want my kid
just imagine if he would have just been, he was obviously joking around because he probably knew exactly what was going to happen, right?
Yeah.
But if he didn't know better and he had his hand in the way, goes the
it could have been
goes the part,
Well, and to me, it's the reminder to me, because it's if I go to use the bandsaw, oh, the key's not in it. That means the blade's detensioned. Tension the blade first, put the key in it, and then I can start using it. Now, I mean, if I'm not detensioning every time I use it if I'm in the shop all day, but if I'm in the shop in between cuts, I will drop the blade guard all the way to the table. So yeah, if my kiddo or somebody decides to turn it on, you don't have a freaking, resaw king blade sticking out.
Yeah, because those little rascals were in there this week, and they are actually, I got a portion of video, but yeah, Nick, it is a good idea because, man, they are very curious souls. They want to go touch everything, and they were in there helping me assemble that 2-ton engine hoist. And one of them was keyed in on helping me, and the other one's sitting there he's walking around the shop looking and touching. I'm like, hey, get over here, don't and that's, boy, I would never hear the end of it if something like I mean, I would feel terrible if something happened, but I do not. That's my worst fear because they're at that age now where they can open doors and walk through things, and they're very curious, and that's what scares me the most. And I'm always on, to my son, it's like, you need to keep an eye on those kids, man. They so quick like that, and they're out there because he lives right here. And my shop's right here. I live in the house away from here. And it's like, make sure you lock doors because I have it set up to where they can't, but a lot of times he doesn't. And then they start wandering off. And that's what scares me is something. And that's why I'm so wanting to do the grid automation to where I can just an app and just kill everything.
Yep.
I know that nothing is going to get turned on. And if it does, if they try, they can't. I mean, just, and I believe it sends you a notification if somebody's trying to do it or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I remember at SplinterCon, the guy who started grid automation, that's part of the reason that he he created that system was because he had little kids and he wanted the ability to, lock it out and set that up.
And it's just like Jason said too. I mean, they've said it too. You're in a hurry and you leave the house and then you're like, man, did I disarm it or not?
Yep.
But you can get on that app and you can do it remotely and you can just disengage everything. It just kills everything and nobody can turn it on. And it's like, man, that's the best thing. That's good money spent. I mean, I tell you what, that is just peace of mind and not have to worry about it, so yeah, I'm pretty much, that's gonna happen once I get everything fixed and set up. I just got to get that foundation fixed so I can get everything going and finally set up like I wanted to. So yeah.
I forget who it was. It was a few years ago, but someone in their like little shipping room, they had one of those machines that makes the bubble like padding for like putting into packages and stuff. And their kid had gone out there and just hit go, and it spit every single bit of those freaking plastic bubbles. Like he just had a room of those bubble.
I mean, that was fun for him.
Like, oh my gosh, I can't remember who it was.
Oh my god! And that was one probably poor kid. He hit it and then it started doing it, and he didn't know what to do.
Didn't know how to stop it.
He just lost.
Off he goes. Kind of like my kids when they would break something, and then it's like you go and you find it, and it's been a little bit, and it's like they just left it. Like, oops, it'll be a while before he finds it. We'll deal with it then.
Yeah,
he did it.
Yeah.
The joys of having a little brother. I just blamed it on him. Yeah. To answer your question, am I coming to the next con? I don't know. So I would love to.
It was a ton of fun. I had a blast.
Now, if you come down to Texas to Texas Woodworking Festival, I will be there.
I do want to try to make it down there.
Oh, that's something else I wanted to announce. I don't know all the details on it yet, but for the people here in Texas, it's going to be actually here in DFW. It is I think they're calling it the DIYers convention or maker convention or something. So they're going to have something here in the DFW area next year.
Who's putting that on?
I can't remember. I'll have to find all the details on it. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be pretty cool. But I think it's going to be more like 3D printing and stuff like that.
Cool.
But as soon as I get more details on it, I'll put it in the chats and we'll talk about it on the podcast. So Joey, you might have an excuse to come up to my neck of the woods. Come hang out with me.
Yeah. I haven't been to Dallas in a while. Been a bit. I don't miss it. I don't miss that traffic.
Good. No. I sell 3D printers.
That's my sister. Don't pay attention to her. just moving on. No. She sells big industrial style 3D printers.
Oh, like the ones that can stand in?
I believe so. She told me once, and I'm like, yeah, no, I don't need nothing like that. Can you imagine me 3D printing a lifestyle image of me?
Dude, that would be amazing. I should have brought my 3D scanner to the con.
Oh yeah, you didn't think about that. You could have
didn't think about that.
Everybody.
Yeah, I could have helped Dave contribute to his massive people.
Yeah, there you go. All right. We know we sell all sorts. Oh, okay. But you don't sell
do all
bamboo.
Kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
They even sell those old fashioned printers that print paper.
Yeah.
What are those?
Yeah. I think that's her main deal.
Offices still need those things. It's funny in a paperless, the whole world went paperless, 20 years ago? And I think we use more paper now than we did 20 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to ban you if you keep on trying to push your cells in here. FYI. Stop spamming the chat.
You're only allowed to troll Joey if you're in the chat. We'll let you stay in for that. Tell us secrets.
Yeah, that's the paper deal's kind of gone. Companies are cutting down. They don't want to spend the money on that, even though it's hard to get away from.
Yeah.
Certain stuff still needs it, but more and more it's all Teams and emails. Lots of emails. Jeez.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
I hate to see my emails when I get back. It's going to be pretty bad. I was going to try to keep up with it, and then I was like, yeah, I'm on vacation. I'm not opening that stuff up.
I gotta say, no, man, you're off. But then you're going to hate it when you come back and you're just like, that's the point. You just do Control A. And,
oh, no, I just delete them all.
Yeah.
If they need to get a hold of me, they'll get a hold of me.
Yeah.
It's a done deal.
Y'all want to, we've detoured and circled back 1,000
Hey, we
times.
did a good job of it.
Yeah. Yeah, we're everywhere.
Well, Mustache, why don't you thank those beautiful Patreon members for us?
Well, I would be happy to. And I got some news for you guys.
Uh-oh.
We had two people that upped their membership.
What?
JR from Trey Studios and Jason Sullivan from JM Sullivan Woodworks.
Did they do that so they could potentially win a 3D printer?
Yep.
They might have. They might
They
have.
might have. Yeah. Hey,
They might have.
now's the time to do it.
Yep.
But just know, I don't want to interrupt you.
No.
But one of those lasers is also going to be strictly Patreon member only prizes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Only going to put two of the lasers out to the chat. So,
yep.
So Acmer came out. They came out this time. So pretty proud of it.
Yeah. I'm
excited.
excited.
Have some goodies to give away to the community and hopefully people that need it. But go ahead. Sorry.
Yep. In addition to those fine folks up in the membership, we got two new patrons also. Steve Bruns, and please message us for your Instagram account, because I see a few accounts. I don't know if they're both yours or not. And also, Steve Mosley from Making at Home.
Woo.
Thank you for your support.
Yeah.
And let me roll this banner on the bottom here.
That's Matt's job. That's the other Matt's job.
I always end up doing it. So I will also call out our amazing top tier people. And I'll start off with Don from What's Next Woodworking, Victor from Whim Designs, Tyler from Forged 3D, Steve from Steve I Design, and last but certainly not least, Mike from Lido's Woodshop. We thank you all for your support. And if you want to come on in, I would strongly advise getting in on the Patreon if I was not a host. And you can go over to supportcmp.com and that will bring you over to our Patreon and you can pick your tier. And we thank you in advance for your support.
And that is pinned to the top of the chat. Y'all can see it. Y'all can click it and y'all can go. Please remember after the show is done, if you would please come back in there and hit that thumbs up. You can hit the thumbs up right now and leave a comment. If you have anything that you would like us to talk about, you can email us at creativemakerspodcast@gmail.com, or you could go sign up for Patreon, which you get access to that lovely Discord, and you can do it in there. And you can also get a chance to win some goodies. But we've got some pretty good stuff planned this coming year. We're going to try to grow the community, and it's all to give back. We love to do that in hopes of getting more people involved and keeping this great hobby running. Please also remember to head on over to iTunes or Spotify and download in all your major listening platforms. We are all out there. You can watch it here. You can follow us on Instagram. Please follow us here on YouTube. And we're on Facebook and TikTok, and we're all over the place. And you get to see our pretty faces. Hopefully, they all are not getting tired of it, but we're out there. We're out there. We're out there. But anyhow, any closing remarks?
Any Scroll Saw questions or comments direct towards Joey?
BJ?
Nope.
BJ?
Have a great week.
Have a great week. And stay warm out there for those of us in the northern hemisphere.
Yeah, us Southerners down here, it's too cold. I can already feel it. And
it's only 35 out here. Come on.
Wow. We're not used to that.
Our Aussie brethren, they're nice and warm right now, but us up here. This is I want to publicly say I apologize for every negative thing I said about summer. Okay.
So direct all your scroll call questions to BJ. Bye.